Now, there's a lot of factors to consider when purchasing a car in general, let alone just getting your first car. But I'll be talking more briefly about it instead of going to an in-depth analysis on this, that, and the third about getting your car. Now, the experience is going to be different for everybody. You might be the type where you got it made and you can pick out whatever car you want as your first car and everything's cool. Or you might be in a situation where, since it's your first car, you're only looking to spend X amount of dollars, maybe no more than a couple grand, and ride it out till the wheels fall off. But generally speaking, when you're looking into getting your first car, at least from my perspective, from my personal experience, and from my opinion, I would say the first thing you want to do is understand what it is that you value most when it comes to purchasing a car, especially if it's your first car. Do you care about spending as little money as possible? Do you want it to be a new car or a used car? Are you concerned about it being the utmost reliable brand there is? Are you concerned about the fuel economy? Are you going to get the best MPGs there is? Or do you just want to make sure you actually like the car? A lot of things to consider when getting your first car. I would say understanding what it is that you value for the car purchase is the most important thing to figure out. Because you don't want to go into a large dealership or some buy here, pay here spot not knowing, not having the slightest idea on what you're trying to do as far as getting in some wheels. Don't know if you want to finance for a car, for a used car or a new car. Don't know if you want the best of the best or the ugliest of the ugliest. The other important factor to consider when getting a car, when going through the car buying process, is to do research. Whether it's a new car or a used car, you want to do research on it, especially if it's a used car. Say you've narrowed it down to 1 or 3 cars. You need to do some research on those vehicles to make sure you're not getting something that is already garbage or could potentially turn into garbage. I would say there's a lot less research involved when considering a new car. If anything, you probably want to research the kind of car that you're looking into if you know essentially nothing about cars. So that way you have some kind of idea on what it is you're looking at and what it is you're getting into when you're going up and looking at that car in person. One thing I would say, do not rely on the salesperson to tell you everything and anything that you need to know about the particular car you're looking at. Because their job is to sell you a car. Some salespeople want to make sure they get you in a good car that'll be fit for your situation. Other salespeople want to make sure they get you in a car, regardless of if it's good for you or not. As long as they get you in it to where you're stuck with it, then that's all they care about. But for your own benefit, it's good to do research on the vehicle, especially if it's a used car. Because if it's used and you don't know what in the world happened to that vehicle before you laid eyes on it, and it's good practice, it's good to know, or at least have some kind of idea as to what all went down with that car beforehand. And of course, there's the other factors to consider as well. Like I mentioned before, price, reliability, cost of maintenance, the safety ratings of the vehicle, so on and so forth. But from my personal experience and from my perspective, if there's anything that you narrow down while going through the car buying process is knowing what it is that you value most in a car, possibly ranking it from like 1 to 5, 1 being most important, 5 being least important. For example, price, reliability, cost, maintenance, safety, and design. With price being the most important factor and design being the least important factor. Figure out what it is that you value most when looking into a car to purchase. And the second other factor is, what was the other factor? What the heck did I say? Oh, the other factor being do research, especially if it's a used car. Do research. You don't know where that car been, do research on the vehicle. Even if those are the only 2 things that you go about doing when going through the car buying process, it's bound to be that much less of a headache for you when you're finally ready to go onto that sales floor and go about actually signing your name on a dotted line to get the particular vehicle that you're looking at. Now, like I said in the beginning, this wasn't meant to be an all-encompassing video, but in terms of getting your first car, I would say these 2 factors are the main things to focus on and figure out. So just so you're not hurting in the long run, because purchasing a car is a large investment. It's not you going to the grocery store and getting some groceries and realizing you spent too much money or got more stuff than what you realized. It's not going out and purchasing a TV. It's not going out and wasting money doing whatever, I don't know. But this is an investment. It's something that you're more than likely going to be using at least 2 to 3 years, 2 to 5, I'd say 2 to 5 years from now. And you're going to be spending thousands of dollars on it. Not a couple dollars, not $100, but thousands of dollars. At least if you're looking to own the vehicle or just use it long term. And why would you want to just go into something and waste money on something that's that expensive? That's just stupid. But anyways, that's pretty much it.